Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. In entertainment news, Avatar is maintaining its popularity in the move from box office to home video with sales of 6.7 million DVDs and Blu-ray discs in the first 4 days. 20th Century Fox announced that James Cameron's sci-fi epic has sold 2.7 million Blu-rays and 4 million DVDs since April 22nd. The combined sales brought it to $130 million. The studio says Avatar has become the fastest-selling Blu-ray of all times. No announcement has been made regarding a 3D DVD release, but a Fox spokesman said one can be expected in the future.
In today's tech news, early demand for the Nissan Leaf electric vehicle is strong, with 6,635 people reserving cars in just 3 days, a figure that represents more than 10% of the Leafs Nissan will build in its first year of production. Nissan started taking reservations for the 4-door, 5-passenger EV on Tuesday afternoon, and almost instantly people were signing up to get one. The Nissan Leaf, which will cost around $25,000 after the $7,500 federal EV tax credit, rolls into showrooms in December. Nissan had 2,700 reservations in the first 3 hours. It exceeded what they had expected, though they knew from what the hand raisers were telling them that this is an exceptionally passionate crowd. The hand raisers they are referring to are the 117,000 people who registered at the Leaf website to get in place for a place in line when the reservation system opened. Those who have made reservations paid $99 to make sure that they're on the list when the Nissan Leaf starts appearing at the dealerships.
In U.S. news, while much of New York has tried to return to normal since September 11, 2001, the search for victims of the World Trade Center attacks goes on every day. In what some see as necessary and others see as excessive, anthropologists and forensics experts are sifting yet again through rubble for remnants of the nearly 3,000 people killed when 2 hijacked jet lines crashed into the Twin Towers. With buildings slowly being erected where the towers stood, the latest effort to comb through 844 cubic yards of debris collected since 2007 from excavation of new sections of Ground Zero was launched this month. Scientists have sifted through 2 batches of debris already and are testing their samples for human DNA. The new batch of debris has been dug up as construction progresses. For some victims' families, finding a physical trace of the dead is vitally significant, but some see the process as having dragged on too long. In the latest sifting, 25 workers sort recovered rubble stored at the city's Fresh Kill landfill. In a mobile lab, scientists passed the dust, gravel, and debris through fine meshed sieves looking for potential remains. Those are tested and cross-referenced with a database of DNA and identification samples of victims to find a possible match. So far, 50 remains that scientists think may be human but have yet to be tested have been found. The city's medical examiner said the effort is expected to wrap up by early July. Overall, of the 21,744 remains uncovered in the 2 other sifting operations, 59% have been identified, corresponding to 1,626 of the 2,749 victims.
In today's financial news, the U.S. government wants you to accept its new Benjamins, its new $100 bill. It hopes that counterfeiters are less pleased. The Treasury Department unveiled what it calls the Next Generation 100, a redesigned $100 banknote to stay ahead of counterfeiters. The new $100 bills will be available on February 10, 2011. The old bills will continue to be accepted until they wear out. The familiar portrait of Benjamin Franklin remains in the usual spot, but a historical reference to the quill used by the Founding Fathers appears superimposed over the phrases of the Declaration of Independence and a 3D security ribbon crossing the center of the bill. The images on the ribbon move as the bill is tilted. It's all designed to thwart attempted fakes. By now, the government has become infinitely familiar with the process of rolling out new money. Over the past decade, the 20, 50, 10, and 5 have all received makeovers. The new look puts the finishing touches on what the government calls its second major redesign. The $100 bill last received a makeover in March of 1996.
In health news, countries in Eastern Europe and Central Asia face spiraling AIDS epidemics if they fail to help people who inject drugs and stop the spread of infection. Countries such as Russia, Ukraine, and others could halt the global downward trend in new HIV infections if they ignore the threat posed by drug users and fail to introduce effective harm reduction steps. Drug users, often criminalized and marginalized from health and social services, can spread the virus by sharing needles with an HIV-infected person or pass it on by having unprotected sex. Infection prevention steps like providing needles, condoms, and substitute drugs like methadone are seen by many experts as key to halting the spread to HIV and AIDS, but some governments are reluctant to provide them for fear of being seen to condone drug use. About 33.4 million people worldwide are infected with the AIDS virus since AIDS emerged in the 1980s. Almost 60 million people have been infected and 25 million have died. A report published last month showed that more than 90% of the world's 16 million injecting drug users are offered to help to avoid contracting AIDS.
These are the most powerful songs of all time. Time Life presents Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $29.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card and we'll cut the price to just $14.99. That's right, you get 5 CDs for just $14.99. Then preview other beautiful classical CDs, satisfaction guaranteed. This collection is not sold in stores, so call now and get Time Life's Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $14.99.
Call 1-800-731-0511 to order Classical Power for $14.99 plus shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card or order online at timelife.com/power.
Ever wished you had sonic hearing? Well, now you can with the amazing Silversonic XL from Bell & Howell. It's lightweight and small, just like a cell phone ear adapter, and it fits your ear just as easily. Its IC chip technology lets you hear sounds from more than 30 yards away, amplifying them up to 50 decibels to give you crisp, clear sonic hearing. The Bell & Howell Silversonic XL is yours for only $19.95, so order now.
Call 1-800-230-7100 or send $19.95 to the address on your screen. That's 1-800-230-7100.
In today's Green News, if you've been looking for a new reason to argue for saving the whales, researchers at the Australian Antarctic Division have come up with one. We've been hearing reports about the worrying effects of ocean acidification and the even more worrying concepts for how to battle it, including dumping iron into the oceans as fertilizer for marine plant life. This stimulates growth all the way up the food chain. Right now, acidification is intensifying thanks to carbon emissions. But rather than geoengineering solutions to the problem, we could just stop whaling since whales fertilize it for us. The experts have found that whale excrement is iron-rich thanks to their diet of krill and acts as an effective plant-friendly fertilizer, which when whales consume the iron-rich krill, they excrete most of the iron back into the water, therefore fertilizing the ocean and starting the whole food cycle over again. The scientists found that not only does whale excrement contain iron, but that it is highly concentrated, about 10 million times that of Antarctic seawater. So where there are whales, there is fertilizer for healthy sea life. The findings serve to highlight how incredibly interconnected and interdependent marine ecosystems are, and how each animal has an important role to serve.
In fashion news today, Lane Bryant's controversial new lingerie ad featuring busty plus-size models will finally air on Fox tonight during the closing minutes of the 9 p.m. edition of American Idol. The women's clothing manufacturer had claimed both Fox and ABC objected to the commercial's content. Though the commercial will not air on Idol, both client and media still seem upset. Lane Bryant has accused the networks of being biased against large-sized women and their cleavages, and the networks have denied such claims, accusing Lane Bryant of trying to milk a non-story for publicity purposes. Lane Bryant took its battle to the blogosphere with a rather testy entry on its Inside Curve venue, lambasting Fox and ABC for resisting efforts to place the ad in shows including Dancing with the Stars and American Idol. It complained that it was being treated differently from Victoria's Secret, which has aired spots on both networks. The company said it was disappointed that Fox rejected the ad 3 times. Fox sources countered that the network frequently asks marketers to re-edit spots just as it did with Lane Bryant, as well as with Victoria's Secret ads have aired. The sources said Lane Bryant's refusal to comply with requested changes caused the delay that prevented it from airing last week. The Fox sources said the Victoria's Secret ad that aired last week on Idol complied with requested edits and was specifically produced to meet Fox's standards for American Idol. Fox also pointed to the fact that they have aired Playtex underwear ads for full-figured women on American Idol to counter Lane Bryant's accusation that the network has a bias against plus-size females. They also stressed that the Victoria's Secret ads air only on the 9 p.m. Idol programs. There is no immediate word on when the ad would air on ABC.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.